The plea for help. The twin suns of Etheria cast their gentle gold and blue light across the crystal spires of the capital city. For 3,000 cycles, the Seraphim had known only peace on their garden world. Their delicate, luminescent forms moved through floating gardens and meditation chambers, their society built on harmony and intellectual pursuit. They had never needed weapons, never known war. Commander Lyria stood at the observation deck of the orbital station, her translucent wings folded behind her slender frame. The Seraphim had evolved as aerial beings, their bodies adapted to the low gravity and thick atmosphere of their world. Their bones were hollow like birds, their skin shimmered with bioluminescence, and their large, multifaceted eyes could see across 12 color spectrums. They were beings of beauty and grace, not built for conflict. The first contact with the Korthak Empire had shattered their peaceful existence. The Korthak were everything the Seraphim were not: massive, armored, beings from a high-gravity world, their culture centered on conquest and domination. When their scout ships first appeared at the edge of Seraphim space, Lyria had hoped for peaceful exchange. That hope died when the Korthak opened fire without warning. "Commander, the Korthak fleet has emerged from hyperspace," reported Thymal, her communications officer. His voice trembled with fear, the bioluminescent patterns on his skin flickering erratically. 17 warships. They're demanding our immediate surrender. Lyria watched the tactical display with growing despair. The Seraphim had converted their research vessels into makeshift defense ships, but they were no match for the Korthak's purpose-built warships. Her people had tried everything: diplomacy, offering tribute, even attempting to flee their homeworld. Nothing had worked. The Korthak wanted their planet's unique crystalline resources, and they would take them by force. Status of the planetary. "Shields?" Lyria asked, though she already knew the answer would bring no comfort. "Failing, Commander. The generators weren't designed for sustained military assault. We estimate complete failure within 6 rotations." Through the view screen, Lyria could see the Korthak flagship, a mountain of black metal bristling with weapons. Its commander, War Master Throck, had made his intentions clear. The Seraphim would surrender and become slaves, or they would be exterminated. There would be no negotiation, no mercy. "Commander," Thymal spoke again, his wings rustling nervously. "There is another option. The ancient communication arrays in the Deep Space Monitoring Station. We could send a universal distress signal. Into the void?" Lyria's antennae twitched with uncertainty. "We know nothing of what lies beyond our charted space. We could be inviting something worse than the Korthak." "With respect, Commander, can it be worse than extinction?" Lyria closed her eyes, feeling the weight of her entire species' survival on her shoulders. The Seraphim Council had forbidden contact with unknown species, but what good were protocols when facing annihilation? "Prepare the deep space array," she commanded. "Maximum power, send on all frequencies, all known mathematical constants, and the emergency protocols. If anyone is listening, they'll understand we need help." As her crew worked to prepare the transmission, Lyria composed the message. It was simple, desperate, and honest. "This is Commander Lyria of the Seraphim people. Our world is under attack. We are a peaceful species facing extinction. We have no weapons, no defenses adequate to the threat. Please, if anyone receives this, we beg for assistance. Our coordinates follow. We have 6 rotations before our end. Please help us." The message burst outward from Etheria, racing through space at trans-light speeds. It passed through empty systems, dead worlds, and stellar nurseries. It traveled for what seemed like an eternity, until finally, it reached the edge of human space. Lieutenant Miguel Vasquez was halfway through his night shift at Deep Space Station Echo 7 when his console lit up with an alert. The station orbited Neptune, humanity's furthest permanent outpost, tasked with monitoring deep space signals. "Computer, analyze incoming transmission," Vasquez commanded, setting down his coffee. The AI's response was immediate. "Unknown origin. Distance approximately 847 light-years. Signal contains mathematical constants consistent with artificial origin. Linguistic patterns detected. Shall I begin translation? Proceed. Within minutes, the translated message played through the speakers. Vasquez felt his blood run cold as he listened to the desperate plea. Without hesitation, he forwarded the signal to Earth Command with the highest priority flag. Admiral Sarah. Chen stood before the War Council, the alien message playing on repeat behind her. The room was filled with Earth's military leadership, scientists and political representatives. The debate had been raging for hours. We can't just ignore this, Chen argued. Someone out there is facing genocide. They've asked for help. And risk our own people? Countered General Morrison. We don't know anything about either species. This could be a trap. Dr. Lisa Park, head of the Xenobiology Division, spoke up. The linguistic analysis suggests genuine distress. The mathematical proofs included in the message indicate a highly advanced but peaceful civilization. How long would it take to reach them? Asked the Secretary of Defense. Chen pulled up the star charts. With our new quantum fold drives, battle, Group Omega could make the jump in approximately 18 hours, but it would be the longest single jump we've ever attempted. And if we encounter hostile forces? Chen's expression hardened. Then they'll learn why Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. Our ships are built for war, our crews trained for the impossible. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every day. We're not the same as these Seraphim, but that's exactly why we can help them. The debate continued, but Chen could see the tide turning. Humanity had spent centuries reaching for the stars, had survived first contact with 3 other species, had built a reputation as fierce warriors and loyal allies. This was a moment that would define them in the galactic community. Finally, the vote was called. The decision was unanimous. Humanity would answer the call. Admiral Chen, the Secretary of Defense, stood. You have authorization to deploy battle. Group Omega. Standard first contact protocols are suspended given the emergency nature of the situation. Protect those people, Admiral. Show the galaxy what humanity stands for. Chen saluted sharply. Yes, sir. We won't let them down. As she left the council chamber, Chen's mind was already racing with tactical preparations. Battle Group Omega consisted of 5 of humanity's most advanced warships, the dreadnought UES Retribution, the battle cruisers Normandy and Stalingrad, and the heavy cruisers Warrior and Defiant. Each ship was armed with rail guns, plasma cannons, and nuclear missiles, weapons designed through generations of human conflict and refined for space warfare. More importantly, each ship carried a crew of humans, beings who had evolved on a world with crushing gravity, extreme weather, and countless predators. Humans who had learned to turn every disadvantage into strength, who had built civilizations in deserts and Arctic wastes, who had split the atom and reached for the stars. Chen activated her command implant. All Omega personnel, immediate recall. We have a mission. Someone needs our help and we're going to give it to them. As Battle Group Omega prepared for departure, loading weapons and supplies with practiced efficiency, none of them could know that their response to a simple distress call would change the balance of power in their sector of the galaxy forever. The Korthak had never encountered a species like humanity. They were about to learn why Earth's children were called Deathworlders. In the space above Earth's largest orbital shipyard, 5 massive warships began to power up their quantum fold drives. The space around them shimmered with barely contained energy. In 18 hours, they would arrive at Etheria. The Seraphim had asked for help. They were about to receive it from the most dangerous species in known space. The Deathworlders arrive. The quantum fold drives of Battle Group Omega hummed with barely contained power as the 5 warships prepared for the longest jump in human history. Inside the flagship UES Retribution, Commander Carlos Rodriguez ran through final checks with his bridge crew. Rodriguez was a veteran of the Mars Rebellion and the Proxima conflict, his scarred face a testament to humanity's violent path to the stars. All stations report ready, Commander, announced Lieutenant Commander Jessica Wong, his executive officer. Quantum field stabilized at 98% efficiency. Rodriguez nodded, his augmented eyes scanning the tactical displays. Each ship in Battle Group Omega was a masterpiece of human engineering. Armor forged in zero gravity, weapons that could crack asteroids, and shields powered by miniature fusion reactors. They were the culmination of centuries of human warfare, refined and perfected for space combat. All ships, this is Retribution Actual. Rodriguez spoke into the fleet comm. We jump in 30 seconds. Remember, we're going in blind. We don't know the tactical situation, but someone asked for help. We're humans. That's what we do. Battle stations upon arrival. Rodriguez out. The countdown reached 0. Space itself seemed to fold around the 5 ships as reality bent to human will. Colors that had no names flashed past the viewports. Then suddenly, they were elsewhere. The human fleet emerged from quantum space at the edge of the Etherian system with pinpoint precision. Immediately, their sensors lit up with contact warnings. Multiple contacts bearing 035 Mark 20, reported the tactical officer. 17 hostile vessels engaging planetary defenses. The planets' shields are failing. Rodriguez studied the tactical display. The Korthak ships were massive, brutalist constructions of black metal and harsh angles. They were pounding the elegant Seraphim defense stations with concentrated fire, systematically destroying any resistance. Sir? Lieutenant Wong pointed to her screen. I'm reading massive life signs on the planet. Billions of them. The defending ships. Their power signatures are minimal. These people really are peaceful. Their weapons are barely military grade. Open a channel, all frequencies, Rodriguez ordered. The communications officer nodded. Channel open, sir. Rodriguez stood, his magnetic boots clicking against the deck. Attention, all vessels. This is Commander Rodriguez of the United Earth Navy. We are responding to a distress call from the Seraphim. Cease fire immediately or face the consequences. The response came quickly. The main view screen filled with the image of a massive creature, easily 3 meters tall, covered in chitinous armor, with 4 arms and burning red eyes. This was War Master Throck of the Korthak Empire. Humans. Throck spat the word like a curse. This does not concern you. The Seraphim are weak. They deserve conquest. Leave now or share their fate. Rodriguez smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Funny thing about humans, War Master. We have this habit of standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. You've got one chance. Withdraw your forces. Throck's laugh was like grinding stone. You dare threaten the Korthak Empire? We have conquered a dozen worlds. We are strength incarnate. What are you? Soft pink creatures from a backwater world. Sir, the tactical officer whispered. The Seraphim commander is requesting communication. Split screen, Rodriguez ordered. The screen divided, showing Throck on one side and a delicate, shimmering being on the other. Commander Lyria's large eyes were wide with a mixture of hope and fear. You came, she whispered. We didn't think anyone would answer. Commander Lyria, I'm Commander Rodriguez. We received your distress call. We're here to help. Tears, or what looked like liquid starlight, rolled down Lyria's face. We are not warriors. We cannot fight. The Korthak are too strong. That's why we're here, Rodriguez said firmly. Then turning back to Throck, last chance, War Master. Withdraw or we will make you withdraw. Throck's red eyes blazed. You will learn the price of defying the Korthak. All ships, destroy these human pests. The Korthak fleet began to turn, their weapons charging. Rodriguez had seen enough. All ships, combat pattern Alpha 7. Target their command vessels. Let's show them what Deathworlders can do. Battle Group Omega moved with practiced precision. The Retribution's main railgun spoke first, accelerating tungsten rounds to a significant fraction of light speed. The projectiles slammed into the Korthak flagship's shields, causing them to flare and buckle. The Korthak returned fire, their plasma weapons painting space with deadly green light. But the human ships were already moving, their enhanced engines, allowing them maneuvers that would have torn apart lesser vessels. The UES Normandy rolled through a barrage that would have vaporized a Seraphim ship, its point defense lasers creating a web of protective fire. Their shields are strong, reported the tactical officer, but they're not frequency modulating. They're vulnerable to our particle weapons. All ships, Switch to particle beams. Target their weapon arrays, Rodriguez commanded. The human fleet's particle cannons lashed out with surgical precision. The Korthak, used to enemies who fought with brute force, were unprepared for humanity's combination of raw power and tactical finesse. One by one, their weapons arrays were disabled. The UES Stalingrad demonstrated another human innovation: fighter deployment. Squadrons of sharp-angled fighters swarmed from its launch bays, each piloted by humans whose reflexes had been honed by evolution on a high-gravity world. They danced between the Korthak's defensive fire, delivering precision strikes with nuclear-tipped missiles. War Master Throck watched in disbelief as his fleet was systematically dismantled. "Impossible! We are Korthak! We are supreme!" "Sir," his tactical officer reported with panic in his voice. "The humans, their ships are taking hits that would destroy us, but they keep fighting. Their armor, it's like nothing we've seen." Rodriguez opened a channel to Throck. "Humanity evolved on a death world, War Master. Gravity that would crush your bones, weather that would freeze your blood or boil it, predators that hunted us for millions of years. We didn't become the dominant species by being weak." The UES Warrior demonstrated this point by taking a direct hit from a Korthak heavy cannon. The ship's ablative armor absorbed the energy, dispersing it across its hull. It returned fire with a full spread of nuclear missiles, each one finding its mark with computer-guided precision. In 20 minutes, the battle was over. Half the Korthak fleet was disabled, their weapons destroyed, their engines crippled. The remaining ships huddled around their damaged flagship. We yield." Throck's voice had lost its arrogance. "This is impossible. You are primitive. Your world is toxic. You should be weak." "That's your mistake," Rodriguez replied. "Hardship doesn't make us weak. It makes us strong. Now you have two choices. Leave this system and never return, or we finish what you started." The Korthak chose wisdom. Their remaining ships limped away, their quantum drives engaging as they fled to report this impossible defeat to their empire. As the last Korthak ship disappeared, Rodriguez turned his attention to the Seraphim. Commander Lyria's holographic image still filled half his screen, her expression one of awe and gratitude. We cannot thank you enough," she said. "You saved us all. But why? You don't know us. You owed us nothing." Rodriguez smiled. "This time with warmth. On Earth we have a saying, today you, tomorrow me. We help because one day we might need help ourselves. Besides, bullies picking on peaceful folks? That doesn't sit right with humans." "You are nothing like the species we've encountered," Lyria observed. "So fierce in battle, yet compassionate in victory. We thought such a combination impossible." "We're complicated," Rodriguez admitted. "Request permission to send down a diplomatic team. I think our peoples have a lot to talk about." Hours later, the first human shuttle landed on Etheria. The diplomatic team, led by Ambassador Maria Santos, stepped onto the crystal platform of the capital city. The gravity was indeed lighter, about 1/3 of Earth's. The air was thick but breathable with filter assistance. The Seraphim crowded around them, their bioluminescent skin creating a sea of gentle light. Ambassador Santos noticed how they moved, flowing rather than walking, their hollow bones and gossamer wings perfectly adapted to their world. Commander Lyria approached, flanked by the Seraphim Council. Up close, Santos could see the intricate patterns of light that played across her skin, the way her multifaceted eyes reflected dozens of tiny images. "Welcome to Etheria," Lyria said. "I am told your people call your world a death world, yet you showed more life-preserving compassion today than we've seen from any spacefaring species." Santos smiled. "Humanity is full of contradictions, Commander. We can be violent when needed, gentle when possible. We learned long ago that strength without compassion is just tyranny." The formal first contact ceremonies began, but they quickly evolved into something more. The Seraphim were fascinated by human culture, by how a species from such a harsh world had developed art, music, and philosophy. The humans were